Kinkaku and Ginkaku, the famed legendary gold and silver brothers, once hailed as two amazing golden lights shining out of the prosperous cloud village, then turned to murderous monsters and killed the second Raikage and left Tobirama on the brink of death. Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash, the man who slaughtered the Third Great Ninja War, being hailed as the sole reason to Konoha's victory. So could the fastest ninja of the modern time beat the two monsters who messed up the other once fastest Hokage? Hey, what's up y'all, it's Virtue. And a few days ago I posted a video titled Tobirama versus the Nine Tails attack, and essentially, I was just kind of testing the rivalry between Tobirama and Minato and seeing what would have happened if Tobirama was in the place of Minato. And I actually thought that Tobirama did quite well and was crucially undercredited in how people believed he would perform. And I made a proposal on if you guys would be interested in like a Kinkaku and Ginkaku video, and to my surprise, I actually got requests for it. So if you guys haven't already watched that video, go check that out for a little more context, and or you can check it out after this. But yeah, so it'll kind of help you better understand both these interactions, because I also talk about it there as well. So yeah. And you'll kind of understand why Tobirama does better than what people think, and the same will go for Minato as well. And Minato actually does significantly better than what some fans believe. And yeah, so essentially today, since I can't really place Kinkaku and Ginkaku when they fought Tobirama, since we don't really know much about them for that, all I'm going to do is just account for all of their Edo feats and then their lore regarding the Tobirama stuff, and then just say that Hokage and Minato were to encounter them on a mission or whatnot. You know, maybe whenever he was fighting, you know, the old Stone and Cloud, maybe they wanted to get back, and Kinkaku and Ginkaku were still alive or something. You know, and they will be at full power, both of them, of course, you know, not like a, and, you know, Minato's not going to be, you know, fatigued like how Tobirama was and whatever. So it's not like a direct swap. But, yeah, let's just hop straight into this. So, of course, I've decided to use their live cells, so we need to understand the Tobirama encounters and why they don't really backskill to Tobirama as some ungodly anti-feat or something. I touched off on this in my Minato video, and I'm still going to hover over it here a little more in depth. So what truly happened with Tobirama and the Gold and Silver brothers? Well, their encounter should have been both around the latter portion of the First Great Shinobi World War. The reason being is that we know that Hiruzen was under Tobirama, and he was still a teenager whenever he became Hokage, and certainly was under 20, and if I'm just basing off looks, he probably is over 16, so yeah. The last encounter we knew, and we know that Hiruzen, or once Hiruzen was, you know, closer to the middle portion of his turn, he trained the Sannin, who earned their title of Sannin against Hanzo in the Second Great Shinobi World War, making that about a 20 years following the first, which doesn't really contradict anything and is implied a bit more in the first data book as well, and Narutoversity also backs this up. So, what was the First World War? Well, following the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, ending the Warring States period, and all great nations were founded, and conflict was, you know, still breeding at this time, and yet the first ever 5 Kage summit was successful in negotiations between the nations in regards to distribution of tailed beasts throughout the lands. But this was only temporary, as sometime following that, during Tobirama's reign as Hokage, Madara was making very harsh demands towards Iwagakure, demanding subservience to Konoha, which made tensions even higher, and some villages were stealing more than others, along with the Sand requesting 2 Bijou since they had less resources. So, yeah. Then the First War actually broke out, and Tobirama engaged in a political confrontation with the Leaf and Cloud, the second Raikage, being present. So this is where the encounters start. So the first one could be an alliance proposal based on all that information, but it was not a full-blown Kage summit as we know. So the people we know are there are Tobirama, the second Raikage, and of course the Gold and Silver brothers, Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Which, now the war is raging, this is more than likely where they earn their reputation as the 2 golden lights of the cloud, 2 great shinobi prior to their turn, since it's stated that they did stage a coup d'etat, which, if you did not know, a coup d'etat is an unlawful seizure of power from a high-powered government. The 4th Raikage also claims they killed the 2nd Raikage in this encounter, which, so they were more than likely, you know, bodyguards due to their reputation, and then they turned their backs, staged a coup d'etat, killed the Raikage, and left Tobirama on the brink of death. So more than likely, Tobirama and the 2nd Raikage were off guard here. Now, we need to look at some more statements made during the war to understand a little more about this encounter. So the first two is Shikamaru stating, these 2 guys are the ones who once messed up the 2nd Hokage. Keywords here, messed up. And the other is Tsunade claiming they left the 2nd Hokage on the brink of death. Keywords, on the brink. So both statements align with one idea. They did not kill Tobirama here. And before you ask why aren't they talking about the second encounter, well, let me finish. So now that's been established, we know that Ginkaku actually died before Tobirama, as whenever he's revived, he actually states, "Damn, snared by the second Hokage," in reference to the Edo Tensei, meaning that Ginkaku thinks that Tobirama brought them back to life. And which, why would he think this if, he were the one to kill Tobirama? A few chapters following that, Kakuzu states, "Kinkaku only rampages like this when Ginkaku kicks the bucket." So, again, corroborates the narrative that Tobirama more than likely was caught off guard in the first encounter and killed Ginkaku and Kinkaku rampage, which hints to why this second encounter was when Tobirama was ambushed on a mission of over 20 unknown S-Class shinobi called the Kinkaku unit, since Ginkaku was dead. So to answer the question, does Kinkaku and Ginkaku scale to Tobirama? No, they don't. So where do they scale? Well, once they were revived in the war, neither Kin nor Gin were legitimately serious, such as them joking around about laser circuits getting hit by it when they easily dodged it at an even closer distance just at it, later. Or how about when Ginkaku let his arm be cut off so he could kick his golden rope at them? And even then, they are still really impressive, being able to take like Kitsuchi's attacks. The same Kitsuchi who's able to hold down the entire Geto Mazu statue, able to blitz Darui, who's a rival to the version 1 Raikage A, with A even believing that either nobody in the world, or at least nobody in Darui's platoon, could stop them, and that he would actually need to do it himself. And he makes no other comment about anyone like this other than Madara Uchiha. So, yeah. Once you look at their ninja tools, however, their Raikage level speed scaling becomes consistent as well, which their tools are stated in the 4th data book to be above all the 5 Kage. So how does the legendary Lord 4th stack up? Well, we actually know that Minato should stack up quite well against Kinkaku, but for the actual battle, Kinkaku should be alive and relatively serious, or at least a little more than they were in the war, and at least trying to kill Minato. So for Minato, we know that he should be above them in speed due to multiple comparisons to KCM1 Naruto, such as when Naruto blitzes Kisame and B remarks that it bats quite a smash, just like the Yellow Flash. However, the best comparison to KCM1 Naruto is during the war, we could see that A refuses to let Naruto enter the war, and that he will kill Naruto if that's what it takes if Naruto persists. However, throughout every arc, Naruto has surpassed Minato in something, whether it was the ability to, add nature to the Rasengan, or surpassing him in Senjutsu. Once Naruto surpasses Jonin Minato, that would be at about this point here, as we see the parallel on the flashback, and Naruto just absolutely murder blitzes the Raikage, similar to how Minato once did. The only problem with this is we cannot directly assert that Minato is on this level due to external things such as A, training over the years, but the 4th data book does state straight up that Minato was hailed among all as the greatest in godlike speed, which would put him above a more prime Hiruzen, who even at his old man is stated to be above all the 5 Kage, and not just being claimed by Kabuto, but also many guides stating a similar thing and corroborating the idea. And I mean, hell, even the games that put the idea out there that in order for Minato to even become Hokage, he had to beat Hiruzen, and he did that pretty easily. So, Minato would just be above that Raikage tier speed and would be, above the 5 Kage tier, in which the 6-pass ninja tools are also in. So, they could be relative in this regard, with Minato more than likely being faster due to the tools being more AP related due to the force of them and the energy, rather than a speed relative. But since the tools are only really used in their base, and of course, tools have to be relative to the user, once Kinkaku transforms, that's where you can kind of see his terrifying power. However, what would happen was probably after Minato kills Ginkaku, probably noticing how Ginkaku is much weaker and Kinkaku is constantly needing to help him and whatnot. Lord 4th does have many ways to work with this. The largest problem for Minato is going to be how the QB cloak actually works on Kinkaku, which if you revisit the Naruto spot where he goes into Four Tails against Orochimaru and Sakura and that stuff, the chakra that surrounds his skin, which is the same one here, is made of almost like a poison just because how much hatred is swelling in Kurama. So Minato can't really touch him, which is fine, as Minato in character typically fights with either kunai or his Rasengan, which, I mean, their Rasengan is no joke and could literally blow even Obito's arm off, but there's really no real way to assert a Zetsu Amp 17-year-old Obito's durability in comparison to Kinkaku, who is able to tank Kitsuchi's attacks and doesn't really have any anti-feats in durability. So Minato may have to rely on sealing or merely just using his speed to stall Kinkaku out, since he doesn't actually have the Nine Tails within him. So It's not like he could just progress to an inherent higher level of a cloak. And this is, of course, assuming that he can't, just slam the Rasengan into Kinkaku and kill him, or that he would be incapable of sealing Kinkaku. And Minato is a master of sealing and learned many from Kushina. And even if you subscribe to the old idea that Minato's sealing isn't really that good and only has, the 5-prong and Reaper seal, then he would still be able to use like the Amber Purification Pot against Kinkaku, similar to how like Darui did. So Minato just has so many better win cons than Kinkaku and Ginkaku. And I mean, Minato did beat the Ninetales, and the Ninetales ate Kin and Gin. So for this, similar to Tobirama, I think that Minato also just wins. So if you do swap Tobirama and Minato's fights, they just both win. Anyway, to conclude this video, what do you guys think? Do you guys think I downplayed the Gold and Silver brothers, or maybe I downplayed Minato? Let me know as well. And, what video you guys want to see next. Oh, and again, if you haven't already seen it, again, make sure y'all go check out my Tobirama versus the Ninetales attack video as well, as I think that is quite interesting. And, yeah, sorry for such a short video, but I just figured I would get this out there since I did get a few requests for it. So, yeah, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and as always, love you guys.